All right, so today we're diving into some pretty wild crypto predictions.
Oh, sounds fun.
Yeah, we've got this influencer, right? And they're calling this market phase the banana zone.
Oh, the banana zone. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, you and me both. So this influencer, right? They think this banana zone thing is like the key to, well, their words, unfucking our future.
All right. So high stakes then.
Yeah, no kidding. So first things first, what is this banana zone?
Yeah, good question. Well, according to our influencer friend, it's this period where crypto prices just go nuts, like crazy acceleration. And they're basing this on, get this, a chart pattern.
Okay, so we're talking technical analysis here.
Yeah, but the pattern looks like a banana, hence the name.
Okay, I gotta see this.
Oh, we'll have to share it in the show notes. But basically, imagine like a long flat period, right?
Yeah.
Consolidation, traders call it, and then bam, this sudden, almost vertical surge.
Like a rocket taking off.
Yeah, like a rocket. Only this time, apparently, it's got a banana strap to it.
And they're saying we're in this banana zone right now?
Yep, that's the claim. They even pointed to Elon Musk launching a rocket with a banana as like a sign.
Oh, come on, really?
Yeah, I know, right? A little out there, maybe. But look, this influencer is pretty well known. They've got a big following, so people are listening.
So besides Elon and his bananas,
Hmm.
what are they saying is actually driving this boom?
Well, they talked a lot about global liquidity. Basically, more money sloshing around globally. And some of that inevitably ends up in higher risk assets like, you guessed it, crypto.
Makes sense. More money in the system, more money chasing returns.
Right. And they pointed to some specific indicators that are, trending upwards. Global M2 money supply, for example. That's like the total amount of money out there in the
Mm.
economy. And the ISM manufacturing index, that one tracks activity in the manufacturing sector.
So both suggesting growth, more spending, more fuel for that crypto fire.
Potentially, yeah. But, correlation doesn't equal causation, as they say.
Always a good reminder.
The influencer also drew parallels to previous crypto cycles, specifically that 2016-2017 cycle. We saw some pretty insane price action back then, right? After a similar period of, consolidation.
Yeah. Bitcoin went from like what, under $1,000 to almost 20,000?
Something like that, yeah. Crazy times.
So they're saying this time could be similar?
That's the implication. But, every cycle's unique, a lot of factors at play.
Of course, of course. But I'm sure some listeners are thinking, okay, Bitcoin, cool, but what about all those other coins? The what are they called?
Altcoins.
Yeah, the altcoins.
Well, good news there. The influencer is even more bullish on altcoins. Things they could outperform Bitcoin in this banana zone.
Oh, really? Which ones are they hyped about?
Solana and Sui, mainly. They even had this whole thing about a specific chart pattern in the Sui-Solana pair. Thinks it's super bullish.
Okay. Now Solana, I've heard of, but Sui, that's a new one for me.
It's relatively new, yeah.
Uh,
Actually, fun fact, our influencer friend sits on the board of Sui.
oh, interesting.
Yeah, so, grain of salt and all that.
Of course, of course. So are we talking strictly serious investments here? Or is there some, more speculative stuff too?
Oh, they definitely mentioned some riskier bets. Dogecoin, naturally. Can't have a crypto conversation without mentioning that one these days.
Especially with Elon and his.
His affinity for it, yeah.
Exactly. Anything else?
Oh, yeah. And this one, get ready for it. It's called smoking chicken fish.
Smoking chicken fish. What?
I know, right? Apparently it's a meme coin.
Okay, well, meme coins, those are definitely high risk, high reward territory.
You're kidding. But hey, it's the banana zone, right? Anything can happen.
All right, so let's say I'm listening to this, right? And I'm thinking, okay, this banana zone thing sounds interesting. Maybe there's something to it, but I also don't want to, totally screw things up.
Yeah, that's a wise approach. This influencer, to their credit, they actually spent a good chunk of time on that, like a whole don't screw this up message for anyone riding this potential crypto wave.
Okay, good. So what were some of the key takeaways there?
Well, the big one was security. Don't lose control of your tokens. Use secure wallets, strong passwords, all that good stuff. You know the drill.
Right. Protect your assets.
Exactly. And they were pretty adamant about avoiding leverage, borrowing money to trade.
Yeah. Leverage can it can amplify gains, but it also amplifies losses.
Big time.
Yeah.
And they cautioned against getting too caught up in, risky DeFi projects. Not all of them are created equal. Do your research.
Yeah, that's good advice for any investment, really. Don't just blindly follow the hype.
Exactly. They also had a lot to say about, well, FOMO, that fear of missing out that can make people do crazy things.
Oh yeah, FOMO. The bane of many a crypto investor's existence.
Right. They really emphasize the importance of doing your own research before jumping into any project, especially those meme coins.
Yeah, meme coins especially. Those things can be like, what is it, a greater fool's game.
Something like that, yeah.
So, research, security, avoid leverage. Anything else?
Oh, and they also talked about taking profits along the way, calling them lifestyle chips. It's a nice way to, secure some gains and actually enjoy the fruits of your crypto labor instead of just constantly chasing the next pump.
Lifestyle chips. I like that. So not about timing the market perfectly, but more about making smart decisions to, actually improve your life.
Yeah, exactly. It's about balance, right?
Yeah.
Taking some risk, but also protecting yourself, enjoying the ride.
Okay, so far so good. We've got this banana zone fueled by global liquidity, historical patterns, maybe some Elon Musk magic sprinkled in there,
Yeah, it was right.
right? And we've got these potential opportunities in uh, Bitcoin, altcoins, even some meme coins for the risk takers out there.
But always remember, high risk, high reward.
Exactly. And alongside those opportunities, we've got the influencers' warnings about, staying safe, avoiding leverage, doing your research, not getting too caught up in the hype.
Sound advice for any market, really.
Absolutely. But this is just the beginning, right? There's a lot more to unpack here.
Yeah, definitely. In part two, we'll delve deeper into those risks and opportunities and, try to give you, the listener, some actionable insights to, well, in the influencer's words, unfuck your future.
Sounds good to me. So stick around, folks. Things are about to get interesting. Okay, so we're back, and I'm ready to dig deeper into this banana zone thing.
Yeah, let's see if this theory can actually help, the listener make some sense of these crazy crypto markets.
Right, because the influencer threw a lot at us.
Hmm.
Charts, cycles, specific coins. It's a lot to process.
It is, it is. And I think it's, healthy to approach it all with a bit of skepticism. Even the influencer admitted it's not like a, guaranteed ticket to riches.
Yeah, they said something like, it's not a one-way ticket to the moon.
Exactly, exactly. Crypto prices don't just go straight up, right? There's going to be volatility, corrections, all that fun stuff.
So how do we make sense of it all? What should the listener be watching for to, figure out if this banana zone is the real deal or just hype?
Right, right. Well, let's go back to global liquidity for a second. Remember, the influencer said that's a big driver in crypto. So keep an eye on those indicators like the global M2 money supply. If it keeps growing, that could mean, more money flowing into crypto.
But it's not just about how much money, right? It's also about, like, where it's coming from, where it's like,
Exactly, exactly. Like, imagine if, let's say, China eases their monetary policy. That could mean more investment in crypto, right?
and on the flip side, if a place like the U.S. tightens regulations, that could slow things down.
For sure, for sure. So it's all about keeping up with, what's happening globally, geopolitics, macroeconomics, all that.
It's a lot to keep track of.
It is, it is. But hey, that's part of the fun, right?
I guess so. So global liquidity check. What else?
Regulations. Big one. The crypto landscape is like constantly changing and new regulations can, make or break the market.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the listener should be paying attention to, like, announcements from regulators, right? News about new laws, even legal battles involving crypto companies.
Yep, all of that. Because it can all have ripple effects, Like, for example, clear regulations on stablecoins. That could be huge for institutional adoption.
Right, because institutions, they like things to be, regulated and predictable.
Exactly, exactly. But then on the other hand, if you have like super strict rules on DeFi, that could stifle innovation, right? Scare investors away.
So it's a balancing act.
Always is, always is. And speaking of institutions, that's another thing to watch. Big players like hedge funds, asset managers, even governments, they're all getting into crypto now.
Yeah, we're seeing more and more of that.
And that can be a good thing, right? It brings legitimacy, stability.
Yeah.
But it also introduces new risks.
How so?
Well, think about it. These big players, they have a lot of influence, right? They could, manipulate prices, create volatility. It's a double-edged sword.
So it's not just about, like, celebrating every time a big institution buys some Bitcoin.
Right, right. It's about understanding their motives, their strategies, what it means for the market as a whole.
Okay, so we've got global liquidity, regulations, institutional adoption, anything else the listener should be thinking about.
Oh, yeah, tech. Can't forget about tech.
Right, because crypto is all about, the technology behind it.
Exactly. And it's constantly evolving, right? New breakthroughs, new use cases. So it's important to, stay up to date on all that.
Yeah, but how do you even keep up with it all? Global liquidity, regulations, tech, it's a lot.
It is. It is. But hey, there are resources out there. Good crypto news sites, podcasts like this one, even Twitter can be helpful if you use it right.
Right, right. It's all about finding those reliable sources.
Exactly. And then of course there's the human element.
Oh, yeah, the psychology of it all. The influencer talked about that, right? How people get caught up in the crowd's emotions, all that fear and greed.
Yep. Yep. And it can be really dangerous because when you're making decisions based on emotions, you're not thinking clearly, right?
Right. You're more likely to, like, buy high and sell low,
Yeah.
which is not the recipe for success.
Not at all, not at all. Remember that image the influencer used, round tripping?
Oh, yeah, where you end up back where you started, but you're, like, emotionally drained.
Exactly. So it's important to, manage your emotions, don't get swept up in the hype, stick to your plan.
And they mentioned those lifestyle chips, right?
Yeah.
Taking some profits along the way, not just to, like, lock in gains, but to actually enjoy life a little.
Yeah, I like that concept. It's about finding balance, right? Not just focusing on accumulating more and more crypto, but actually using it to, improve your life.
Right, because ultimately that's what it's all about, right?
Exactly.
So, okay, we've talked about all these big picture things, but let's get back to the coins themselves. The influencers seem pretty excited about Solana and Sui, but they also mentioned those meme coins like Dogecoin and that smoking chicken fish thing.
Right, right. Well, it's important to, distinguish between investing and speculating. With Solana and Sui, at least there's like some fundamental analysis you can do.
Right, looking at the technology, the team, the adoption, all that.
Exactly. But with meme coins, it's basically gambling. It's
Yep.
all about hype, and that can change in an instant.
And even though the influencer mentioned them, they were pretty clear about not going overboard, right?
Oh, yeah, they said no more than like 10% of your portfolio should be in those kinds of speculative bets.
Which makes sense. It's like, play money, right?
Exactly. Have some fun, but don't risk it all on meme coins.
All right, so shifting gears a bit, the influencer also talked about art as an investment, especially NFTs.
Yeah, they seem to think that as crypto wealth grows, more of it's going to flow into, alternative assets like art.
And they're putting their money where their mouth is, right?
Yeah.
Buying that rare Exacuppy NFT.
Right, right. And I think it speaks to, this idea of like a status symbol, a store of value. It's almost like buying a piece of history but in the digital world.
But how do you even, like, evaluate art as an investment, especially NFTs? It all seems so subjective.
It can be. It can be. But there are some things you can look at. First, research the artist, right? Their past work, their reputation, all that. Then look at the NFT itself. Is it rare? Is it unique? Does it have historical significance?
And what about the community around the NFT?
Yeah, that's important too. Is there a strong community of collectors and fans? Because that can drive up the value over time.
So it's a lot more than just, oh, I like this picture, I'm going to buy it.
Way more. Way more. It's a whole different world.
All right, so we've covered a ton of ground here.
Mm.
If this banana zone really is happening, what are some key takeaways for the listener?
Well, first and foremost, stay informed, right? Keep learning about crypto, about the market, about all the things we've talked about today.
Knowledge is power, as they say. Huh?
Exactly. And manage your risk. Don't get caught up in the hype. Have a plan. Stick to it. Diversify your portfolio. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Solid advice. Solid advice.
And remember, security is key. Protect your assets. Use good wallets, strong passwords. Don't get hacked.
Yeah, that's a good point to emphasize.
And lastly, think long-term, right? Don't get distracted by short-term price swings. Focus on the fundamentals, on the projects you believe in.
Right, because crypto's still, relatively young.
It is. And it's got a lot of potential, but it's also going to be a bumpy ride.
Right.
So buckle up and enjoy the journey.
Well said. Well said. And, if you're looking for a community to connect with, to share ideas, the Influencers platform, Real Vision, could be a good place to start.
Yeah, they seem to have a pretty active community over there. And lots of resources, too.
Right. But as always, do your own research, right? Don't just take anyone's word for it.
Exactly. Think for yourself, make your own decisions.
Ah.
And remember, we'll be back for part 3, where we'll dive into the emotional side of investing.
Oh, yeah, the psychology of it all. That should be interesting. So stay tuned, folks. All right, so we're back, and we've talked about, the banana zone, the potential opportunities, the risks. But now let's get into the headspace, right? The psychology of crypto investing.
Yeah, the mental game is huge in crypto, isn't it? I mean, you've got this technology, this decentralized system, but it's still driven by, human emotions.
Totally. And the influencer was like surprisingly honest about their own struggles with that. They talked about getting swept up in the hype, feeling that FOMO.
Oh, yeah, FOMO, that fear of missing out. It's a powerful force, especially in a market like crypto where things move so fast.
And then, of course, there's the flip side, right? When the market dips and suddenly you're seeing red everywhere.
The fear kicks in. That's when people panic sell,
Yeah.
lock in those losses.
The influencer actually used this phrase round tripping, which I thought was, it was pretty spot on.
Yeah, where you buy high, sell low, and end up back where you started, but you're like emotionally exhausted.
Exactly. So it's not just about like the money you might lose, it's the toll it takes on you mentally.
Right. You got to protect your mental capital just as much as your financial capital.
And that's where I think those lifestyle chips come in. Remember, the influencer talked about taking some profits along the way, not just to like secure gains, but to actually reward yourself.
Yeah.
Do something nice for yourself.
Yeah, yeah, I love that idea. It's like instead of just constantly chasing the next pump, you actually take a step back and say, hey, I've earned this. I'm going to enjoy it.
Right? It could be a vacation, paying off some debt, whatever brings you joy.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance, right?
Yeah.
Between the risk and the reward, the excitement and the need to protect yourself.
And ultimately, I think that's what the influencer's whole unfuck your future message is about. It's not just about like getting rich quick. It's about using crypto to create a better life for yourself, whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah, I agree. It's about aligning your financial goals with your values, with your aspirations.
And part of that, I think, is finding your people, right? Your tribe, your community.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Having people you can talk to, learn from, celebrate with, commiserate with when things go south.
Because let's face it, crypto can be a roller coaster. Having that support system can make all the difference.
Absolutely. It's about sharing the journey, the ups, the downs, the whole crazy ride.
And so, as we wrap up this deep dive into the banana zone, I think the big takeaway is this. Crypto is a powerful tool. It has the potential to, you know, change your life. But it's important to approach it with a clear head, with a solid plan, and with a sense of, community and support.
Well said. Knowledge is power, risk management is key, and community is everything. Remember that, and you'll be well on your way to, unfucking your future.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So, to all you listeners out there, keep learning, keep exploring, and as always, happy investing.